Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker! With nary signs, you know the question is not on here that I could have said yes to would have been a cock ring. I'm like, oh, I've done that. Jeff.
It was called Bibbidi Bobbidi Doorknob.
Stephanie.
The only reason he was invited was because he was dating my friend. It was like a pity invite. And he was like one of the first people to get there. What a loser.
And we have Missy.
Yes, I'm here.
Is also here.
Missy is also here. A girl has no last name.
Not anymore, am I right? Huh? And special correspondence with Steph Mayer Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
And this is the What's Up Bro podcast.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
I've been doing Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing that a lot lately. This year,
How do you cure that has no life?
Huh?
How do you cure that has no life?
What is that from?
South Park.
Yes.
When they're talking about Skyrim?
Yeah. But I've been playing Dungeons and
Actually,
Dragons.
it was
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That was the guy that
same
clicked
thing.
the
the fat guy that's clicking.
the guy with the wrist guard. I remember the wrist guard. So I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. The fact that he was like muscling through the pain.
I love the fact that he just used to put the glasses up every once in a while. He just used to just put at the bridge of his nose, just put the glasses back up.
The ultimate is what do we do now? It's like, well, we can start playing the game. That's how, I don't know. But I started playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I had to edit because I was recording it like a podcast. I'm doing this like it's like a fun. One of the episodes is up, but it's such a pain in the ass to edit because I'm adding sound and shit to it that it's like a 4-hour recording, and I'm trying to whittle it down and get rid of all of the bullshit that goes. Like the.
Is it really 4 hours?
Yeah. For Dungeons, if you've never played, have you ever played?
No. I had sex in high school.
Look again.
I'm totally joking.
That
Totally
is
joking.
some hack ass bullshit.
I know. That's actually a joke from Friends. When they were,
Right.
when they were talking about
Lord of the
Gandalf the
Rings.
Wizard, and he was like, "Hello, Gandalf, Lord of the Rings," and he was like, "I had sex in high school."
One of my favorite tropes is that the idea that like cool people who are struggling to get laid all the time are like under the impression that nerds don't just fuck other nerds. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like all the cool kids are always like trying to get laid. Meanwhile, like the nerd, like it's the whole in American Pie, the whole band camp thing.
Right.
All those band camp nerds are fucking each other. All the D&D nerds are gonna fuck each other. You know what I mean? Like it's.
But they're all dudes. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
If
that's what you're into.
I
just wasn't. Just because I'm a nerd, that doesn't mean I'm immediately gonna fuck the only thing that's available to me.
Not always, but that's also the illusion that there's not girls that do this shit too. Because I'll tell you what, where I play D&D, like half of the people there are, it's better now, I guess. But
now it's
now it's much more acceptable.
Well, it's more inclusive now.
Yeah. Well, it's still not like it's still like there's still a lot of like gatekeeping nerds. I'm on like a couple D&D things online, and it's always so sad to me about how people want to quantify your fandom
your nerdomness.
They're like your nerd cred, and it happens to the girls on there a lot. But it's so dumb to me that it matters. Like, hey man, we all like shit.
It happens a lot within the geek community. It happens a lot from one genre of geek to the next.
Yeah,
it's like, well, you're a D&D, you can't really hang out with comic book geeks. Like, no, what? But we could be all of it. Like, it doesn't. Like, I know some. Geeks, I know a lot of geeks that are they throw their nose up at certain kinds of geeks. I like wrestling. They'll throw their nose up at wrestling, at professional wrestling, and I'm like, do you realize that you're literally throwing dice on a board and playing imaginary friends? But you're okay with that, but you're not okay with.
That's not even. That's already getting too into it. I'm talking about like you're not. People like things, you know what I mean? Like it's like
I'm giving you the example of I've had people who are into D&D like scoff at me for liking wrestling, professional wrestling, and I'm like,
it has nothing to do about D&D. It has to do with them as a person, that they're just like,
absolutely. I'm not blaming the D&D culture. I'm saying, I'm giving the example of, this is what I've experienced, and I'm like, you can't, what?
Because that to me is always so, it's always so sad, and it happens also.
It's just like the fucking people that are huge sports fanatics.
Yeah,
they have no problem painting their face for their team colors. Yeah, for the Dolphins, but they'll scoff at people who dress up for Comic-Con. I'm like, how is that fucking any different?
Yeah, I still love, what's that guy's name that did the fantasy football joke? Oh fuck, what is that? That Dungeons and Dragons is basically fantasy football for the people. Fantasy football is Dungeons and Dragons for the people that used to beat up the kids that played Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't.
Somebody do that joke.
Great premise.
Yeah, it's
I've never heard it, but great premise.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Now I'm jealous of that. I'm like, God damn it.
But
I feel like if I just kept on talking, I would have gotten to that point. Like just me talking about this right now.
Yeah.
I would have gotten to that, but now that you said it, I'm like, somebody else did that.
That's why I don't know if it's like, I've heard it from a couple places. I don't remember who said it, but the idea that like that just because you like something means that you then have to determine whether other people like it too. You know, like,
or as much you gotta,
or like when someone schools you on like something that you thought you were a nerd about. That's always like a defeating thing until you grow up. Until you're like, oh yeah, people know shit. People like shit. You know, like especially with nerd stuff. Like I had to. Someone asked me like, I was like, hey, I'm messaging with this girl on Bumble, or whatever, and I'm like, hey, Neri has left the room mid conversation. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought my daughter was going to the refrigerator.
You thought your daughter was going to the refrigerator?
No, my daughter was going to the refrigerator because underneath the door I could see the silhouette of legs, but it was my dog. So I was trying to be the sneaky dad and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, yeah, that's always the worst. Where all of a sudden it's just... I was like,
what are you doing? And my dog's like, what?
I'm
a dog.
Our bark. Bow wow. Someone told me a video of like a kid getting caught and then literally straight up like punching the person that caught him doing something wrong. And I was like, ooh, keep an eye out on that kid. Yeah. Somebody watch that boy.
That's a thing.
That's going to be
Did you see recently, Jimmy Kimmel has this thing where it's like turn off the TV while they're playing Fortnite. Like just turn off the TV.
Oh,
like in the middle of the game, like unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And record the kids' reactions. And I mean, you could tell these are all white kids, or not all of them, but you could tell the white kids were
because they were yell back at
because they not only yell back, curse. One of them swung and like slapped the phone out of and again, you don't know who's recording. You don't know if it's the older brother. You don't know if it's the parent.
Yes.
But so you don't technically know that, but you're assuming that these are parents. Recording their kids, and you're just like, what? And then like one kid just like stared down the fucking barrel of the camera, like just hardball, and
but
then
like mean
grilling, and then just smacked the phone out, like, and so you don't know who's holding the camera, but because I'm under the assumption that these are the parents, I'm like, did you what? I can't even imagine. Can you imagine that doing that to your mom? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I grew up in a household where I didn't curse to my parents. Yeah. I've never, to this day, I'm 37, have 2 kids of my own. I've never cursed in front of my parents. Not to them. I've never cursed in front of my parents.
I also grew
in
up...
English or Spanish.
Right. There's sometimes you can get away. I can't envision a time where I would do that. I also can't envision a time where my mom would be such an asshole to film her doing shitty things to me.
That's funny though.
That's what I don't think so.
You don't think that's funny?
I just think it's dumb for it's like it's this odd thing of like capitalizing on a trend or whatever. Like they're not doing it because they think it's funny. They're doing it because they think that Jimmy Kimmel will see it.
But it's also funny.
I don't think it's funny, but I think it's just dickish. I think it's just.
No, we're not saying to. I'm not.
I separate.
To me, they're not mutually exclusive.
It's harder for me to make for. It has to be really funny for it to be.
It's like when you pull the chair from underneath somebody. That's a dick move. Yes. It's also funny.
It can be if the person
again. It's
a child.
Context matters.
Yes,
context matters. So if you're doing it mean spirited,
yes,
you're a dick. If you're doing it to be a dick, but if you are doing it to be funny, to get a laugh, that to me, it's like when you're boys. So when your boy does your mama jokes, it's funny. like if a stranger off the street did the same, you fuck your mother, you'd be like, hey, what the are you? What? Let's go on. Like that's a whole different ballgame to me.
I understand. They were like, someone could talk shit about my brother.
Yeah,
I can talk shit about my brother, but you can't. You know, that sort of thing.
So like, but also, you're my kid, and I'm gonna fuck with you.
Also, my dad would play pranks on me too. I just don't. The filming part of it, I think, is the key element.
Do you think if they would have had that technology readily available? Because I know they had video cameras when we grew up.
Sure.
It was expensive and bulky and all this bullshit. So, do you think if the technology would have lent itself better to it back then, you think your dad would not have recorded it?
I think that the ease of getting video and stuff on the internet where like people can see it. Like if my dad had to film it on one of those shoulder cam Back to the Future cameras with a VHS tape, and then hey everybody gather around, watch me be a dick.
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to write off shitty behavior because it'll disappear. Like your Instagram story is gone in a day.
Yeah, but I don't think your dad. I think the fact that the reason your dad didn't do it is A, cost, B, it wasn't practical. Like, again, big, bulky camera. Yeah. And 3...
It's hard to hide that camera.
It's hard to hide that camera. And 3, it's also not as fun to gather everybody around the living room as it is to send a link and be like, bro, oh, man, this is hilarious.
I think that one of the... Like, I'm on this new thing of, like, I'm trying not to... I don't really use social media right. I'm terrible at it. It's bad for the podcast. It's bad for marketing myself as a comedian. But I just don't give a shit enough where I don't get it. Because I know so many people who were part of that email forward culture of like racist conservative shit, and people would send like forward emails of like Obama's a Muslim and all this stuff, like, and those are the same people that are causing like a lot of the problems now. It's the same people. It's just
what problems are you speaking
like all of the divisiveness,
because we're going from pranks,
but
to somebody who you care about.
I'll get you there.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where's that train of thought now?
What I'm saying is that it's very easy to just throw shit out there now. Like people post share a racist thing. It's like, oh, I didn't create it, but I can share it. You know, like, and
I don't know those people. So,
but what I'm sure you did.
I don't get racist. I don't get.
You're unfriended. That's the thing, is that it's so you have this little network now. Before you used to get email forwards from like my people. I used to get them from like friends of mine from
the most I used to get were like, please pray for this, send this prayer chain, keep this prayer chain going.
I understand.
I never got look at this racist.
What I'm saying is that social network of email forwarding to your racist friends and keeping that bubble going, it's just public now. You know what I mean? Like the Make America Great Again thing is like just, I wish America was great when cameras weren't on our phones and shit like that. People recorded us being racist. I think that is the same. That's the only Make America Great.
No, but I just like the connection you're making with this to
well, here's the thing, because I've seen videos of it. Like people are filming themselves. Like the idea of filming themselves doing. Like I saw someone filming themselves as they were getting like coffee in the morning and all that stuff, and you could see the look on the guys across the counter's face of like, what? Just get caught. Like, there's no need for this.
But again, your connection to this is a funny prank to someone who I love, and I'm filming it because it's funny. Like I think
again, I don't think just doing dumb shit to put it on Jimmy Kimmel is funny.
But you're confusing the two. You're saying that it's not funny. I'm saying that it is funny and it's a dick move.
Well, yes,
but it's both. I think to me, it's both.
Right, but what I'm saying is that a lot of people are more inclined to do it because they'll post it up and then it's like ha ha ha. Like shitty behavior is like funny now, and it's like.
But it's always been funny.
Less
funny now.
I would say it spread. It goes away faster. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's less funny now because now people are more sensitive and hypersensitive, and now people are like, oh well, you can't play that song on Christmas because
now we're talking about two different things.
No, but it's that whole thing of like people are very ultra sensitive. So pranks have always been funny. Like tripping people has always been funny. Did you not see Big Daddy? That's hilarious. To get a fucking tree trunk and then people who are rollerblading and let them fucking fall. Yeah. Again, dickheaded behavior, but it's still funny.
I argue because it's always been dickish if it's happening like to you. It's like there's certain pranks that are funny. Like I love like freezing people's stuff that won't get damaged. You put it in like a Ziploc bag and you put it in water and you freeze it,
or like a calculator in Jello.
Yes, something like that, or like those are fine. You know, a
Except
stapler.
the calculator now comes in an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly,
In a $1,000 iPhone.
Yeah.
That would be a great prank.
Yes.
Where you prank you put somebody's iPhone in Jello, but it's on the calculator app.
It's a photo of a stapler.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, you take like somebody's hat and put it in the freezer or whatever, and it's funny. You take somebody. You know.
I'm the other way around. I don't like
hurting people.
I'm the other way around. Don't touch my property. Fuck with me. Don't fuck with my property.
But stuff that won't get damaged.
No, fuck with me. Don't fuck with even my hat. Fuck
I don't.
You, it's a hat. Don't freeze my hat.
I don't. Well, yes, I guess you're right. It's not. I don't. It's not going to damage anything.
Right.
And I like there's certain again I'm just.
You guys didn't do nut checks back in the day?
Yeah, I fucking hated it because
That's
I'm tall.
Hilarious.
I'm too tall. Like I don't see it.
Nobody
coming.
could ever get me. Oh, everybody always gets me.
I'm right in crotch punching range for every one of my short friends. Yeah, it's not fun.
I didn't like the nut tapping thing.
I also had an older brother, and that was also
I'm the youngest of four, buddy.
But what I'm saying is that my brother, when we were kids, man, I fucking hated my brother. He would like pick on me, and then I got big enough to where it was no longer feasible for him to do so. Right. But I hated him for a long time because I just got bullied, like straight up bullied.
There's nobody else in your family big and tall?
Yeah, my brother. He's 6'5".
Okay.
Also, I want to leave it on.
Yes, ma'am. No, my brother's taller than me, but he was like tall and skinny. Yeah, I personally don't like. Yeah, I don't like pranks that hurt people or whatever. There's certain pranks that are funny. Like there's one that I saw that it was like, but that doesn't. Hold on, let me finish the example because this is going to determine whether or not you think this is funny. They line up so these two guys are filming a thing of like, oh hey, surprise limbo contest, and they get people blindfold and then they go to do a limbo and they just walk away. Right. And it's fucking funny.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious. And it doesn't hurt nobody. It just makes somebody look dumb.
Have you ever tried to do the limbo? That shit hurts, man. Sure hurts.
It hurts you.
But here's the thing. Turning off somebody's fucking TV screen doesn't hurt anybody.
No,
so
it doesn't.
Where's the logic behind you not liking that prank?
Filming it and putting it online and all that stuff, I feel like is unnecessarily mean. Like I just think it's dumb. I think it's in the same vein of like people posting Instagram stories where you're like, who gives a shit?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
You're not on. You don't really post a lot on social media and all that stuff. You were anti-social media for a little while.
No, 2018 has been my break of social media from Twitter and Instagram specifically. On my personal Facebook, I still post it on my personal Facebook.
Right.
And on my comedy page, I still post, comedy. Like these are my sets. These are my
Again, that's basically what I use it for.
But not that for me personally. It's a very specific reason. It's a personal reason, so I'm not going to go into it now.
Sure.
But I've made a decision for 2018 not to get on that. But I'll be back in 2019. I'm kind of jonesing, to be honest with you.
Really?
Like, be like,
you want to meme it up, huh? Yeah,
no,
like
missing
out on all these sweet memes.
I don't like Instagram profiles that are all about memes. Like even the Geek More and the WuBro, which do post meme. I'm one of the people that contributes to the memes on those pages. It's not all memes. Like it can't. Like if you're posting all memes, like that's not. It's to me, Instagram was like to take pictures
of stuff.
Well, it's not memogram. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not.
I think it's anything visual. I find it funny when people post like they'll post something on Twitter, screenshot it, post it on Instagram, and then post that on Facebook, like where it's like, oh, okay, we got them all. We nailed it. I don't know. I just, this is like the old man in me now. And like I would rather see you post pictures of like your food. Honestly.
Well, yeah, like food. I like selfies. I don't care. Why do people hate selfies? I don't understand.
No, I don't mind it.
There was a long time where people would be like, selfies are stupid, and people who do selfies are self-indulgent, and I'm like, but that's the whole.
I mean, that's true though. I don't see the harm in other people. I don't have to follow you.
No, but I don't see the harm in like, hey, I'm in Alaska. Why can't I take a picture of me being? And I don't have a fucking professional photographer following me, a personal photographer following me, being like, this was me in Alaska. Like, why can't I just take a picture of me? Why? I mean, the technology's there. We can have.
I think the transition is from you taking a picture of a place to you taking a picture of yourself in that place.
Right.
It used to be.
I don't see the big deal with that. I don't see like I want to take a picture of me in Alaska, and there's nobody here, and I'm taking a picture of me in Alaska.
If you go to like when I was in Japan, and I went to Japan, and I took a ton of pictures and selfies all over the place because I'm in Japan. If you go to the bathroom, I don't need to see this. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, oh, I got this cute outfit. Great, fine. It's 20 of those pictures is like a lot.
Again, but now we're talking about excess as opposed to just the act of a selfie, whatever. But
a selfie's fine. I used to be like when someone would want to to show you something like, hey, look, I took a picture of it, and they point at the camera at the picture at the thing that they want you to see, and they take the picture. Now whenever they like, oh, I want to show you something, they turn the camera around, point at themselves standing in front of the thing that they're trying to show you. It's like, I can't see it. You fucked up. Yeah, I'm getting crotchety in my old age.
I don't get that.
I don't know. It's just I don't like the pranking. I don't like because that kid is probably already an asshole because of you. You know what I mean? Like if that kid got that mad, the parents should feel bad about how mad that kid got.
Yeah, I get it. I totally.
You know what I mean? There's like this fucking when those kids at Walmart that call their mom Linda or whatever. You know,
the worst.
Yeah, their mom's name is Karen.
White people.
Yeah, that's the code for white people.
Yeah, it really is.
It's all it is.
I have a cousin who was raised in Nicaragua. Born and raised in Nicaragua, and she called her mom by her first name.
Really?
Like one cousin. But
why? Like was it accepted or was it?
No, it was accepted by the mom, if that's what you mean.
Sure.
But the rest of us were like, you're weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, you're absolutely weird.
Or like the kids that kiss their parents on the lips. Do you do that?
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Yeah, we make out. That's fine.
Ooh, gross. Super gross. Gross.
Also not you, so don't call the fucking child services on me. I'm just clearly fucking joking.
That moment of disclaimer. You're Oh, I mean,
I'm totally fucking joking. Relax, NSA.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't.
At a certain age, when a babies, it's fine. But then there's like a certain age where it goes to just being like, wait,
like Ferris Bueller. I think you're fine at that age when you're picking up your daughter when she's 17, picking your daughter at school, and the principal's watching.
I like how they just breeze past that part in that movie.
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't he? He's a child pornographer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he likes child pornography. Why would he fucking be so he can't be too judgmental.
That guy, I always hated that guy.
He played the bad guys. He always played the bad guy.
He was always the bad guy.
And he had that bad guy face.
He was the bad guy in Howard the Duck.
Yes.
And he had that thing come out of his mouth and that weird shit at the end. That's to this day.
He's also the bad guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bad guy Ferris Bueller.
He was the bad guy in his own life. He was the bad guy. He's not the hero of his own story. He's not the hero of his own story.
But can you still watch? Can you separate the art from the artist?
Oh, we had that conversation last night. Oh, because our Geekmore on the Mount Geekmore podcast, which is part of the GeekBro network, go to geekbro.net.
Geekbro.net.
But the topic was 80s sitcoms. And me and Jeff had
Cosby Show.
Our number one was the Cosby Show, and
number one,
yeah,
okay, it's your mountain.
Yeah,
it's your mountain.
Well, okay, quick question: which one would you put? 80s, where the majority of the run had to be in the 80s.
Ooh, okay, interesting. It has to be a sitcom 80s, and
the only one that'll give it a run for its money, which as far as popularity and iconicness, would be Cheers. And to me, I wasn't a Cheers fan. I'm a huge Frasier fan.
It had to start and end in the 80s?
No, the majority of its run.
Oh. So that's interesting.
So even if it's like, there are some TV shows that started in 78 but ended in 85.
Right.
Which the majority of its run is in the 80s.
You know, because, well, all right, so that's difficult. Because then after, as an adult, there's shows that I've gone back and watched that were like, oh, I like this better, you know, like...
There's a lot of great, really amazing sitcoms that were primarily in the 80s.
Yeah.
None of them are better than the Cosby Show. To me and to Jeff.
No,
Jeff and I had the same number one.
I get it. It was important.
And to David and Stephanie,
what was their number ones? I don't want a spoiler alert for the fucking
the episode should be out already by the time this comes out.
Sure.
David's is Alf.
Was number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
And I'm pretty sure Stephanie's was Golden Girls?
Golden Girls. I would put Golden Girls over.
No, absolutely
over. I will tell you, but it's personal reasons. It's because I would watch. That's what I would watch when I was at my grandma's house.
That was the joke that she would. That's the joke that I made yesterday, where she said on the podcast. She said it was between Golden Girls and Cosby, and I had to do a flip of the coin. I go, yeah, one of them they didn't rape anybody, and then the other one they rape people. So then you go with the one. And I get that, but to me, Golden Girls was never going to be on my list anyway. So to me, that wasn't even.
Well, you want to know what it is? Also, because when I was a kid, okay. Here's the thing. Of the sitcoms I watched the most in the 80s were the VHS tapes of I Love Lucy that my grandma had.
Absolutely. But that's
so I understand. Right. But that would be my 80s.
Yeah.
Was all of that shit.
So I totally understand. Like, so we had that discussion of like, where do you separate the art? And she can't. Stephanie cannot. But she can't do it for anybody. She can't do it with
Mel Gibson?
She can't do it. With Mel Gibson, she doesn't have a problem with it so much as...
Because she's anti-Semitic?
Well, because she doesn't have... It wasn't... He didn't physically hurt anybody.
Okay, yeah.
So words. That's where the line...
Sure, sticks and stones and stuff.
So it's one of those things where, yeah, you're racist, but you're not... You're not a child molester like Woody Allen.
Yeah.
You're not, you're not that guy, what's his name, that directed Chinatown?
I don't know.
He lives in Poland now. He escaped.
Roman Polanski.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, he straight up was a pedophile.
Yeah. So that was.
I think
pedophiles are Marines. Once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. Once you're a pedophile, you're always a pedophile. Like, you can't I only touched a kid one time. No, you fucked up. That was that's on you now. You're a pedophile from the rest.
That's on your permanent record.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So she can't separate. And then when it came to the Cosby Show, she could not. And to her, on a personal level, it hurt her even more because of the fact that he played off the wholesome.
Yes, look. I understand that. I get that.
Hey, mi amor.
I want an anino. Could I have one?
Sí, mi amor. Lady.
And Baloo's in here too.
Baloo, go.
Yeah, well, because he was because
he gave off the impression of being holier than thou,
and he would talk shit to the black community. A lot of black people hate him for that.
So he talked shit, like he not only personified that on the show, the character, not only Dr. Huxtable, but Bill Cosby himself took on that character of like, I'm a wholesome guy, blah, blah. I'm TV's
going back to those old
that's why she could have separated the two. I could definitely separate the two. I
can sometimes. It does change my point of view or perspective on a lot of stuff. Like I loved Bill Cosby himself. I had that special memorized. That's like one of the things
I've never liked Bill Cosby stand up ever. Even before the rape thing, I just never thought I had that one in my head. We had it on tape, and I would watch it. I remember that was what kind of got me into comedy, I guess. Like I was like, oh, you can tell jokes. Oh, I can tell. Oh, these jokes are funny, and I had it like memorized front to back. Him talking about the same thing happens every night, and his kids in the bathtub and all that stuff, and his wife beating the kids, and like the dentist bit, the drunk, the going out and getting drunk and all that stuff bit. Like I knew all of them, and I watch it now, and I'm just like, it makes me more sad about my perspective. Like what he did was terrible, but absolutely.
That does not directly impact me. I'm not related to any of these people. That didn't happen to anyone I know.
Right.
But it does change the way I look at that stuff now. Especially when you go back at the show and you're like, oh, yeah, he was an OBGYN looking at vaginas all day. Like he made it. Like he made himself a doctor of vaginas. I was like, interesting choice.
Well, it's not like he was a pharmacist.
Right. If he had been...
If Dr. Huxtable would have been a pharmacist, you would be like, oh my god,
wow, that
was all about the fucking nose.
Man, this one episode's all about like body chemistry and sedation. Is really weird. He had a whole joke about Spanish Fly.
Yeah.
All that shit came out. Well, even now with like the Louis C.K. stuff, like that came out where he was, yes, everything that he did was terrible to those women, like forcing them to watch him do this thing that's terrible. He
did ask though.
The point being,
totally being sarcastic to the listener.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
No, I just had to give that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, when you don't react to it, Mike, then it doesn't lend
because
itself,
I'm going with it.
Yeah, because it doesn't lend itself audibly to like, oh, they were joking.
Right.
So it's like, oh, he wasn't. He asked first, and then you just breeze right past that. I'm like, no. If you don't react, then the audience is gonna think that that's how I really feel. So if you go, oh man, that's fucked up, and we laugh about it.
Don't you remember how this show used to work?
Yeah. I'm like, so I have to let them know. No.
Yeah.
I don't really. I'm not a rapist.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you sit.
I don't condone. Rape.
No, but the idea of him also like railroading these women that accused him of stuff out of like jobs.
Right.
That was, to me, it was also adding fuel to the fire.
You saying that was worse?
Not that it was worse, but it was terrible also.
Well, I think that was the reason. I think that was, and to say again, for a man to say this is stupid, but I think that was mostly the problem is the fact that he had that power.
Right.
Because, of a fucking open micer does this, they wouldn't have accepted that. I don't think any woman would
100%.
Any female comic, if an open micer does this, any female comic would be like, you're fucking girls, fuck you, and then we'll spread the word and be like, this open micer is a piece of shit. But because he had the power and the influence, that's where the abuse of power comes in. Yeah.
That same shit happened with Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
Where he was like
but he turned out to be not, I guess,
guilty. I don't know. His story was different in the sense of like.
Well, I mean, A&E did an investigation that almost lasted an entire year. You would think again.
AMC,
right? What did I say?
A&E.
Yeah, AMC did an investigation which lasted months upon months. And to me, I thought once they pulled him, I thought they were gonna like, that's it, he's done.
Yeah.
But to their credit, they were like, no, we did an investigation and we found that he's good.
A few. Here's the interesting thing. A few. Right afterwards, a few women that were kind of involved in that situation came out and said, "Hold on a second."
Yeah,
and that was kind of like a big deal. I think that helped his case a lot.
Well, yeah, of course.
But here's the thing:
there's no point for other dudes to be like, "No, he wouldn't do that." That doesn't help his cause at all.
But what ended up happening is that
I have a creepy calendar that. I noted down every party that me and Chris Hardwick went to.
Yes,
and I circled it.
But Squeeg or whatever his name is.
Scooby.
I still can't believe we live in this timeline. Like, what the? Whatever.
This is an ulterior timeline. This is
the darkest timeline.
Yeah, this is very much Planet
Previous
X,
episode of Unsung Heroes was all about multiple alternate dimensions and the thing. And apparently everyone's alternate self, like alternate Earth self, was on cocaine. Like they were like, "Oh, I'd be doing all kinds of drugs." Like,
really?
What? I didn't expect that either. But it's just a bunch of New York comedians hanging out, and then I was like, "What would alternate self you be doing right now?" And they're like, "Cocaine." I was like,
"Wow,
okay."
But what if in that alternate universe, cocaine was like weed?
100%. What if it was like
it was like aspirin? Oh, I'd be on fucking cocaine. And like, yeah, okay. And then alternate self is like, yeah, I should take an aspirin. What's the big deal? Like
or like alternate Earth self is like, yo, I got some of this chocolate is forbidden, or whatever. It's like, well, all right. No, but the point being is that like, so apparently it came out that she was just like, he told people not that he didn't want to work with her. Not that they shouldn't work with her, and that was a different thing. That was like
that's his way of
right. Because honestly, if you break up,
Louis C.K. again?
No, we're talking about Hardwick.
Oh, that he didn't want to work with.
That he was like, hey, he's like, don't or whatever. I don't know what the story was, but it was like, imagine you break up with a girl that's, it's rough. A bad breakup, which happens to normal people. You handle shit poorly, whatever it is, and
Not
then
me,
you,
but okay.
Not
me, but okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, someone that's happened to.
I've never been broken up with. I've never been dumped. Let me rephrase that. I've never broken up with anybody. I've only been dumped.
Only been dumped.
So, to me, my hard breakups are like, it's me crying in the corner.
Right. So, imagine if like now you have to work with like you're being like, baby, please take me back, baby, please, and then
I did. I worked
and you had to work with them.
I worked with the lesbian who was very mean. Like, she broke up with me, and then she was still abusive to me after the breakup.
Sure.
To the point that I had to ask. I asked this out loud at work. I was like, "Hey, isn't the person that goes through the breakup the one that's supposed to be angry and upset? Like, isn't the one that gets dumped the one that's supposed to be angry and upset?"
Wow, really?
Like, I had to ask that out loud.
Whoa.
So that she could hear it. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, I got dumped and I'm still the one getting yelled at. Like, I don't understand what's happening here. Like, I don't understand. Like, I couldn't conceive that. Like, I couldn't.
She like breaks up with you and then starts like shitting on you. Like, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm on your side.
Absolutely.
On this.
Yeah, we don't have to continue. She dumped me for a girl that I introduced her to at a job that I got her. right?
It's a rookie move.
Of course.
You gotta lock her up.
Because I was a fucking rookie. What the fuck is wrong with that's exactly. I was playing the part. Like, I was a rookie. I did rookie mistakes. Absolutely. And then after the breakup, it was still like, I was getting like, oh, Neri's a dick, and Neri's blah blah, and Neri's not the fucking nice guy that you guys think he is. And I'm like, I got dumped. Why are you so shitting on me? Like,
we're good. Well, to imagine that,
just leave.
But you had the power to be like, hey, I don't want to work with her anymore, and people would listen to you way over her, and then she loses the job. Of course, she's gonna be mad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, of course she's gonna, like, if she loses work, all stuff. It was an interesting dynamic, and then it was funny to see how he handled it on Instagram, for going back to social media, because he turned off commenting on all of anything he would post when he was first coming back, which I think is kind of like a genius move. It takes the power away. Like,
oh, it's an absolutely genius.
Wow, I didn't realize how much of a power move that was.
Number one rule of the internet. It's even in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
better than the first.
Really,
it's fucking fantastic. It's the best sequel this year. I'm saying that without any interpretation. I'm saying that with no doubt in my mind. That movie is by far the best sequel of the year.
Better than Incredibles 2?
Better. I hate Incredibles 2.
Really?
I don't like Incredibles 2.
Wow.
I don't hate it. Hate it's a strong word. I don't like it. It was a major disappointment. I didn't think it was Incredibles.
Deadpool 2?
I call it Mecredibles. I got Mecredibles 2. Mecredibles 2.
Incredibla.
Yeah, Incredible 2. So I don't like Incredibles 2 at all. I think it was I didn't think it was incredible. I don't like I don't like Baby Jack. Jack.
That she had all the power.
I hate that shit. It was the laziest fucking writing of all time. It's like, well, they're stuck in a predicament. What if we give Baby Jack the power to fucking all of a sudden turn into a giant baby? We're like, what that? You haven't shown that the entire fucking movie. You haven't. Why the fuck? Now he has another power. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't like that movie. So better than Daredevil 2. Daredevil 2. Better than
Daredevil season 3 was dope though.
I'm watching it now. I'm watching it now.
I'm mad that it got canceled.
Well,
sort of, quote unquote. Yeah. I mean, they'll bring it back in some form or another. But.
So I better than Creed 2, and I love Creed 2. I love Deadpool 2. I loved.
Yes, I liked it a lot.
Wreck-It Ralph 2 is
really
the best sequel of the year.
And what was the rule? To not put comment? What is it?
The rule is never read the comments. I mean, it's even in that. My whole point is to say that's an old saying.
Yeah.
But it's even in a kids movie where he's in the internet, and he goes in. There's a room. There's an actual physical room for comments.
Yeah.
And then the internet lady, because the internet's actually a lady, the internet walks in and goes, "Yeah, that's the number one rule.
Yeah.
Never read the comments." Like, it's even in the kids movies. Like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like, so the fact that Chris Hardwick was like, turn off the comments, like, that's
but that's the thing. Like, you couldn't comment on anything, which I felt like it stopped that first wave of reactionary, like, you posting about like, hey, this restaurant's great, I highly recommend it, and they're like, fuck you, rapist, and then it's like not being able to respond.
So the first wave is like, oh, I can't. I don't know.
I'm telling you, man, that's the whole thing about how fast everything goes away.
It's kind of like the rule of thought behind the people who go, did you lock the front door? And you're like, if somebody wanted to come in, they're gonna come in. They're gonna come in. Like, there's no thief worth his weight in anything that goes, I'm gonna rob this house, and then they fucking check the front door and they go, oh, well, guess I can't rob the house now. Like, you can't.
How many modern burglars do you think are picking locks?
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's sitting there with a lock.
And that's what I'm saying. But here's to further extend that: nobody's going to check the front door and go, "Oh, it's locked. I guess I'm not robbing this house today." Like, it doesn't work that way. If they're gonna rob that house, they're gonna rob that house. They're gonna break in. It's called a fucking break-in. It's called breaking and entering. Like,
also, if someone goes into the front door of your house, like, they check to see if that's a bad criminal. I would say don't. My new favorite thing is the videos of people who steal stuff off porches.
Oh, did you see the glitter bomb?
Yes.
I posted it the other day. I was like, some heroes don't wear capes. They just use glitter, bro.
Glitter. First of all, the most over-engineered prank.
I mean, he says it.
Yeah.
The guy says it. It's crazy.
So good. The idea of it, too. And the pièce de résistance, the fart spray. It was so good. And seeing them reacting was so funny. That's what I'm saying. Like, because again, I think it's against the law for you to put something on your property that could harm them. So I guess he couldn't have put like an actual a thing that shoots spikes into their hand or whatever, which he could build probably.
I'm sure he
that
can
engineer something, but like it's
Would it be
against the
great,
law.
like if they just put like fucking like acid. And
Yeah.
like he's just like boric acid. And just,
A half melted man. It's like what happened?
And then people will still be like, "Good, that's what he fucking gets."
Yeah.
It's good. That's what he gets.
There's those like
I can't believe people actually do that. Like it just bothers the fuck out of me.
It's so crazy to me that people actually do
Like
that.
grown-ups do that. That's what bothers me. Like if it was teenagers, you go, "Well, teenagers do stupid shit." Like as a teenager, I used to fucking shoplift a lot as a teenager. But because you don't have money in it. But when you're a fucking grown adult, like that bothers the fuck out of me.
It bothers me that they would do it, but the logic part of my mind, the sociopathic part that takes emotion out of it, whatever, is just like, yeah, they just leave it there. You know what I mean? Like honestly, like there's got to be a better way to secure stuff.
They now have a locker, like it's like a foot locker.
Yeah.
That Amazon will, and that the code changes as a digital code, and then you give the code to the driver,
right?
Like when they get there, and then they put it in, and then they can lock it. So that's a new thing now. That's a new system that they're trying to roll out.
I mean, like,
I just think it's shitty for people who have a whole fucking foot locker in their.
Of course.
Because that just says, "Hey, come and rob this fucking locker."
Like it's a federal offense to steal. Yeah. Like if it's just sitting there, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this locker.
Yeah.
Is it bolted down? No, then it's mine.
I don't know how the system. I don't know exact. Oh, new Hellboy trailer just released.
Whoa! Should we do a live view on air?
Yeah. Well, I think we should. What we should do first is introduce ourselves.
Yes.
I was purposely waiting a long time to see like how long I was going to do it.
You just did rolling starts.
No, I did it on purpose. I did the rolling start, and I was going to cut us off like after like 5 seconds, and I was like, no, let's see how long I could go with this shit. So I purposely did it. So to the listener, for those of you who are like, who the fuck is talking? Who's this guy?
No, don't do it. Don't say it.
No,
don't do it. I said, don't say it. Don't say it. No, let him linger.
So we're gonna watch a new Hellboy trailer, and we'll be right back. Hold on with our reaction. Well, we saw the trailer. That was a thing.
Okay. I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Right.
But he looks stupid.
His face looks awful.
His face looks terrible.
Awful. That's my only complaint. But the problem is that it's such a big complaint. Because
it's like
I didn't want to say anything to you because I didn't want to.
You know how much I love Hellboy, right? And I loved I read all the comics after seeing the movies because the movies made me want to watch.
Right.
Made me want to read everything.
But that's your MO. You don't read comics before the movies.
I'm a movie guy for sure. I'm a movie guy above all.
Yeah.
And the Hellboy movies were so kind of perfect to me, like the character, and Ron Perlman was perfect.
Now,
I know it can't be the same.
But here's my thing. Here's my question to you. And again, I agree with you. I think his face looks awful.
Awful shit.
But here's my question to you: is do you think it looks awful because it doesn't look like Ron Perlman?
That's what I was trying to. That's what I like. Change is hard. You know what I mean? Change is hard. I'm trying to.
Can you separate the? Is it independently awful? Like, is it like?
How is it that Hellboy 2 came out 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ish.
Sure.
And it looked better than this to me. In terms of the hand?
No, I don't think the hair. I think the effects looked amazing. I just think that his face looks stupid because it's his face, not.
It just looked really, really.
Because it looks so different than what we're used to.
Yeah.
I agree it looks awful, but I don't think it looks awful because of the makeup or the effects. I think it looks awful because it's not the Hellboy that we are looking at.
Which
it looks like if the Hellboy we all know, the Ron Perlman Hellboy.
Right.
It looks like if he was on an all-night bender.
Yes. It looks like
he was super drunk.
Do you remember that episode of Martin where he boxes and then they show his big bloated head at the end? Right. That's what it feels like to me. Like he got hit too much around the eyebrows.
But the opposite, because he looks thinner.
Yeah. Like that was a terrible way to reveal him. I think, like him coming out of the truck there going, I'm on your side. Yeah. He sounds so different. The voice is very different. And the look, that
but like that's why we don't
ratty
like it.
hair.
That's why we don't like it, because it's not the Ron Perlman.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying.
Because everything else looks great about the movie.
That
The comedy looks good.
good. Yeah, it was funny. The when he comes out as the Anunsun Rama, the with the crown and the fire and the full horns,
Right.
that looked dope.
The whole movie looked dope, though. The
It all
effects
looks good.
look great.
There's a ton of monsters in it. There's a ton of like big shots. It looks like, but anytime they cut to his face, I was like,
like,
no, that's not my Hellboy. That's not. But I that's my initial gut reaction as someone who loved the Ron Perlman Hellboy.
Look, I love the Ron Perlman Hellboys. I didn't go back and read the comics, so I'm not like this
Great,
guy.
man. I hope I hope they follow the comics. It doesn't look like they are, but I hope there's I always thought Hellboy was perfect for a TV show, but no one's going to do a TV show with that heavy makeup.
Yes,
you know
that would be crazy.
the animated movies are great. Have you seen them?
No.
Oh, dude, yeah. There's like a Sword of Storms and then something Blood. Something. There's like 2 different animated
Blood.
Yeah, Blood.
I just don't like his face.
I don't like it.
But it's a thing of like I don't like. I believe that I don't like it because it's so much different than the face that I'm used to
Yep.
seeing.
That's what I'm.
Like when I look in the mirror,
I'm not. It's not
that's
like
the
I'm not
face that
gonna.
you know, when I look at Hellboy, that's not the Hellboy that I you know.
When will this reflection show who I am? I'm gonna give it I'm gonna watch it. You know, I'm gonna watch it. But
Of course I'm gonna watch it.
But it's gonna hopefully what's gonna happen is that as I'm watching it, I will forget. Like it'll be good enough where it's engaging, and I'm not just looking at how weird the hand.
Again,
looks
to me, to me, the hand didn't look weird to me. It looked good to me. To me, the only part that looked bad was his face, and I was like,
the hand bothered me. Something about the heft of the hand, the weight of it in a couple of the shots looked weird. Like when he's swinging and he did, like it just looked weird to me. But again, I don't know if that's just because I'm used to it looked Guillermo del Toro is like the king of practical effects, right? Like
now?
Like
Sure,
when
now.
Well, yeah, but even when Hellboy 2 came out, like I had the DVD and it had all the behind the scenes. Like they created so much of that shit in real life, and they took they invented this whole language for the troll market. They did this whole thing of where
I love when they do that.
Yeah.
Like Men of Steel did that. They actually created a language for Krypton.
Yes,
and I'm just like
super cool.
I think it's super amazing when you watch it behind the scenes. But then as somebody who's like, again, thinks it's super cool, I'm also thinking, why? Like, you spent so much time and money on that. Like, they brought in linguistics majors, and they brought in fucking, and they invented it, and then the writing, it's not just scribbles. Their language on, like, when they're in Krypton and they see like and you see like the chambers, and like the lettering and around the molding, it actually means, like, it's not, they didn't just scribble. Like, I would have thought they just scribbled shit on the fucking wall, and who gives a fuck? Like, it's not like it's a language that you created, so nobody's gonna be like, oh, fucking assholes. They put "suck your mother" on. Like, it doesn't. Like, why would you?
Like, well, that happened with Star Trek when a bunch of motherfuckers started actually learning Klingon. And now they're like, oh, the Klingon's not accurate and whatever. They have to pay attention to that shit now.
So
I guarantee you, on the internet, people are gonna lose their shit about how bad it looks. The overreaction. Because I had a gut reaction of like, fuck this. Like initially,
no,
internally.
I didn't. I wasn't angry. Because then again, I'm not.
I got mad.
You're more of a Hellboy fan than I am. But I was like, ugh. That doesn't look good. I okay. And then they will get away from his face, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. Oh, I like that. Oh, look at that big shot. Oh, God, his face.
Oh, God. Every time it came up, every time they showed Hellboy, I was like, fuck you. But that's kind of an important part of the Hellboy movie.
Let's see if Ron Perlman has already reacted.
He's not going to react. He's
been vocal about. Fuck them, let them do whatever they want, but that's not me and Guillermo made it. They went to dinner.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They were gonna,
that was when they started talking about
and they approached him to do it again, but without Guillermo, and he's like, no, it's me and Guillermo are fucking and Guillermo came up with a vocal agreement where they were like a verbal agreement where it was like, I don't do this without you and you don't do it without me. And
I wonder what the picture of the original, like when they released that first shot of Hellboy.
Right.
It looked great. I thought it looked really cool, but then
I thought it looked great.
It doesn't look like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't look. It looks. I don't know. It doesn't. It didn't ring true to me. I didn't like. So like you're saying that. Ooh, that looks bad. Imagine that, but about something you love.
Imagine that about something that you did, that you created and brought to life.
Yeah.
Not that Perlman created Hellboy, but he created the version of Hellboy that it became. You make something your own.
Yeah. I
gotta wonder how guys do that. Like I've read articles where comic book artists, once they let go, even if they create something,
yeah.
Like the guy who created Wolverine, and I forget his name, and I'm really bad. He passed away recently. The guy who created Wolverine, Stan Lee asked him, like, when somebody else writes Wolverine now, and they do something that you want to have done, and he goes, no, once it's out of my hands, it's not like they have that mentality. I can't imagine that. Can you imagine somebody doing one of your jokes and then fucking doing it differently? You're like, no, what the fuck?
I've seen it, but it's no, I understand what you're saying, but like someone taking a character you create, or someone like, or even, like I always wonder when people write like fanfic about like Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter fucking, like I always wonder if like that bothers.
You read my manifesto.
Have you been reading my private journals?
Have you been reading Big Guys in the City? Have you been reading Croqueta Fingers?
No one's gonna know what we're talking about if you keep talking about it.
They don't even know who I'm talking to.
No.
They don't even know who's talking right now. I haven't even done that introduction.
Don't do it.
I haven't even given the name of the podcast.
It's gonna be in the thing that
it could have been one of 4 different podcasts. I'm on 4 different podcasts. It could be another one of 4.
All
I've done is promote the network.
Yeah, that's true.
Geekpro.net.
Yeah, they keep it that way. That's it. Right. No one needs to know. Don't even put my name in the description.
Someone comes to visit.
Yeah. The unnamed co-host.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The idea of like imagine okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Do you know The Cursed Child, that play that they wrote for Harry Potter?
Right.
Everybody the people hate it. Like, it's not like, my friend went to go see it and he's like, yeah, it's not good, but it's like fun. It's like a stunt show. It's like the stunt show at Universal Studios where they just like shoot fireworks. Is
that the book that they put out that was basically just a script?
Yeah, the play. It's the book of the play,
right?
And it does
people
a lot of weird.
My wife, which is a huge Harry Potter fan, hated that book. It's not a good book.
Imagine J.K. Rowling wrote all the books, and then someone comes and writes this play, and they do it, and they're like, yeah, we're going to produce it and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, it's ass. Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
It's making money, but like people are just like, meh. Like, I'm only going to see it because I need to experience everything. Harry
Are you
Potter.
a Potter guy?
I love Harry Potter.
I don't.
I succumbed to the idea of the reviews and not having MoviePass anymore, and I didn't go see Fantastic Beasts 2.
I saw Fantastic Beasts 2. Fantastic Beasts 1 was on my top 10 for that year.
It was great, right?
Phenomenal.
I loved it.
Not great. I fucking loved Fantastic Beasts 1. So I was really... And what I loved about it is that it didn't have anything to do with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
None of the mythos of Harry Potter... It was Harry Potter less. It didn't have any of that.
The world. It was just a story in that world.
In that world. Yeah. It's essentially it's you know what I mean? Like, I don't like, you don't like,
even Grindelwald doesn't come in until the end.
So and I didn't know who Grindelwald was.
Right.
So I'm watching a movie, and because I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, I don't know who Grindelwald was, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a bad guy. Oh, Johnny Depp. That's
Johnny Depp's
amazing.
a bad guy.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, Johnny Depp, a huge monster.
Yeah.
He's there's like
we're gonna agree to disagree on this one.
He's apparently a bad guy. He beats women.
Well, no, beat a woman, and
yeah. So. There's rumors. I will say this: there's rumors that at one point he shot Winona Ryder, but not like he shot her.
Yeah, I don't think that's a rumor.
Look it up.
Accurate. I don't think that's accurate. Though.
Look it up.
It may be a rumor. I don't believe that rumor.
There's a friend of mine writes this. There's a part of this gossip blog, Blind Items or whatever that they do now, and she like, Johnny Depp is one of the ones that's coming out now because the whole story came out of him beating his wife.
Yeah.
Are they married?
Yeah, they were married for like a year.
Yeah, and Amber Heard, and then
super hot.
So. Yes, she's amazing. She's beautiful, but
we're on the outside. We don't know about the inside.
We don't know. We'll never. You don't know until you've experienced the inside. Yeah. That's weird, also to say. But the
can I tell you the story of my wife? And while I'm sitting at dinner one time with my wife, her mother, which is my mother-in-law, and my wife's brother, again my brother-in-law, and she's texting somebody, in Spanish, my wife. And she goes, how do you say vagina in Spanish? My wife says that, ask that to the table. Without blinking, I go, rico, which is, for the non-Spanish speakers, translates to delicious.
Yeah, tasty.
Right. And that was my, I did not, and this is it. God. It was so fast that my wife was like, what the fuck? And my mother-in-law goes, oh my God. Like, she was so offended.
The face you just made is funny because I can picture your wife making that.
So, my mother-in-law was so offended. My wife
they're super straight-laced though, right?
My mother-in-law, only my mother-in-law.
Right.
Like everybody else was like, hey, we have a sense of humor, we're cool. My mother-in-law was like, that's not the proper thing to do. To say like that.
Yes.
Thus not the proper,
fina.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. So my wife's reaction was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you said that. And my mother-in-law's reaction was like, like appalled, right? Yeah. And like she soon and eventually and very soon laughed it off. But it was a thing where
it hit her. Yeah.
The initial reaction, right? And I wasn't even sorry. I was like, I was like Joey. I was like, I'm not even sorry. I'm like, I don't even care.
Hey man, what comes out comes out.
It's just delicious.
Sometimes no filter. What do you got?
So yeah, that was a thing that. Why did I bring this up? I forgot why I brought this up. You said something.
Oh,
this is digressions again.
Yeah.
This is. You said something that made me think of the initial reaction or whatever. We're talking about Amber Heard.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, she's beautiful.
No, Inside and Out.
Inside and Out.
But
I wonder what her Inside Out characters look like.
Delicious.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean anything else dirty. I didn't mean anything dirty. I meant on the inside. What does her anger look like? What does her sad look like? What does her joy look like?
They all look beautiful. Yeah. So she.
Why can't I stop coughing?
I don't. Because,
I'm not used to that Miami air.
Oh, are you from somewhere else?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Ooh, it's a mystery. Submit your guesses to WuBroPod at WuBroPod for who do you think I am?
WuBroPod at gmail.com. Fuck, I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh, so part one.
Tasty.
So part one.
Rica.
So part one is Fantastic Beasts was amazing.
Oh right.
So I go watch part two. My wife watches part two without me during the premiere night. She can't stop raving about it. Oh my God, it's amazing. Blah,
part
blah,
two.
Part two. She can't stop. Oh, she's amazing. Blah blah. I saw that. She's great. And she tells me, she goes, listen, you're gonna have a lot of questions.
Oh,
but I can't answer these questions because I don't know the answers because it's a big mystery. We got to find out. It's one of those things where like it's very
a cliffhanger.
Not really a cliffhanger, but there's a lot of things where you're like, oh my God, there's so much more information that we need. Yeah, unresolved things. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, well, she just let me know. She said that to me like 4 times. She's letting you know you're going to ask me a lot of questions. I'm like, all right.
Why didn't she just say like, hey, just letting you know you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it at all.
So here's the thing. I watched the movie, right? She goes, it's amazing. She keeps saying it's amazing, but there's a lot of questions that are unanswered. It's amazing, but there's a lot of questions that are unanswered. So watching the movie and I'm like, oh, okay. The ending comes, I go, okay. And then she's like looking at me like, huh?
Oh, that's like, the worst.
And I'm like, well, I don't like, but isn't that a big there was like an audible gasp in the movie theater from people, and I was like, okay.
Oh, because is it because you don't know?
Because I don't know the mythos.
Right.
So I don't fucking give a fuck. I don't give a first of all, I was confused throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Because for Fantastic Beasts, it was its own separate entity. Yeah. It had nothing to do with.
I think that's why a lot of people didn't like it. They
mentioned Hogwarts once in Fantastic Beasts, and in this one, it's like. All the characters, everybody's like coming back. They mentioned a teacher that apparently is a bitch in the future. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know them. So I have no connection to these characters.
Right.
Not only do I have no emotional connection, I have no mention of who they are. I don't care.
This is one of my favorite things on my show. Whenever like we have to do brackets or something like that, right. And the person comes up and is like, "I've never seen either of those things," and they have to make up what they think it means.
Right. But here's the thing, and I'm like, so it turns out the guy,
because you're describing this to me like
one of the guys is blood related to another guy.
Yeah.
From another story, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, but that's a big deal because we never knew that this person had a blood relative, and I'm like, I don't care.
I'm trying to piece together through this is fascinating to me. You're telling
I'm
me stuff,
purposely doing super vague so I don't spoil it for you.
Yeah. I you know what? I should probably go see it.
You should watch it. Dude, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you should go watch it.
Because apparently only the Harry Potter fans really dug it. Or the people who buy into the wanting to know more about the old world.
Right. I don't like
the original
Like
story.
I remember reading Q from the Talking Geek podcast.
Yeah.
She hated part 2. And
she got very mad.
She posted it on social media. And I can't disagree with her because I'm not a Potter fan because I didn't read the books, but she's like, but in the books, she kept saying that in the comments, and I was like, well, that's your fucking problem.
Right, that's a big
your fucking problem. You read so
no.
Who's bad at that? You're bad.
Yeah, not separating the books from the movies. Like honestly, because I'm a movie guy first, and then I go back and read the source material. It's like getting a bonus cut with a ton more detail and the stuff. That's how the Harry Potter. I read all the Harry Potters was like that. I've done that. That's how I did all the Hellboy stuff. That's how I've gone back and I've read like Jack Reacher books. Like I watched that first Jack Reacher movie and I dug it. And then I went back and I started reading some of the Jack Reacher books.
How different was that, huh? Good
Jack Reacher is like 6'5". Yeah. He's supposed to be like this giant dude. And then when it's like Tom Cruise, the first thing you notice, like when after you watch it, they just like I watched the movie, and then I started reading one of the books, and they describe him, and I was like, ooh, yeah, that's not Tom Cruise.
They're doing a Jack Reacher TV show.
Oh, I'm down for. I liked it. I didn't like the second movie. Was fine.
I like the second movie, but I loved the first.
The first movie was great.
Fucking dope. And then the second movie, I still liked it. Yeah. I still thought it was good. I even thought it was good. I didn't love it, but I definitely did not dislike it, and definitely didn't hate it.
It was something that I thought that's fine for the till we get to the next one. It was like a placeholder.
Yeah.
If they're doing a TV show, I think that's great. They should make it like Kung Fu, the old Kung Fu TV show where he's like walking around trying to find his brother's killer or whatever, and he's just traveling around. Each new place has a new story. It could be like a straight up serial like they used to have, and not everything ties together in this giant story arcs where if you miss one episode, you're out. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But I've never read a Jack Reacher book. But I know from listening to like the Empire podcast, I know that he's supposed to be massive and huge and super strong and like.
They love the Jack Reacher.
He literally got shot once and survived. Like no vest, like he got shot in the fucking chest.
Jack Reacher?
Yeah, Jack Reacher got shot in the chest. And the doctor told him that if it wasn't for his extremely defined
muscles,
pectoral muscle, that it would have killed any other human being. Like that's how ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous.
But it's kind of like making him American James Bond, which I'm all about. Like I think it's
but James Bond doesn't have to. James Bond isn't fucking a physical monster.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't
have to be Jason Momoa. Like he just like.
But why can't they all be Jason Momoa? Come on. No, the idea of making it like James Bond. He's gonna win. He always has that like
because of the gadgets. I miss the gadgets.
The new ones, the new James Bonds. Man, I could give a fuck.
I like them, and some of them I like a lot. Like,
I couldn't finish
Casino Royale was fucking amazing.
I saw Casino. I liked it.
Casino Royale was amazing.
It was a poker movie, but okay.
Sure. I mean, the name Casino Royale.
Yeah, but it was literally just about poker. Well, once you know like about poker a little bit, you know that it was that you can't predict anything. Like it's math.
Really? Because rounders.
Oh, that's all bullshit.
He's counting cards.
He's counting cards is for that type of poker is not going to help you. You know what I mean? It's for blackjack that it's good because they stick around with like the same stack of decks, so you can kind of see how much is coming up. But whatever. The point being is that I couldn't sit through Spectre. I didn't.
Spectre was meh to me.
Yeah,
it wasn't. To me, it wasn't bad, but whatever. But I just missed the gadgets. I'm like, where the fuck are the gadgets? I like the whole fucking gadgets thing was cool.
But that's the thing.
That's why I like any
giant pectoral muscles is Jack Reacher's gadgets.
That's my problem with it. That's my problem.
Well, he's also. I love in one of the books they introduced this thing where he has songs memorized. So that's how he's trapped. He's held hostage. And he's counting the passage of time, and it's straight out of Hudson Hawk. Do you remember Hudson Hawk?
I do remember that awful movie.
But he also knows how to he has songs and stuff that he tells time. It's in that movie. I don't know, but the books came out in like the 90s, so I don't know which one came first.
Okay.
But like it shows him that he's smart. It shows him that he knows how to
escape by doing Morse code to by humming popular songs.
Escape by humming.
Yeah. You remember who did that? That was Short Circuit 2.
Yes. We're going downtown. Yeah.
And then they'll do Morse code and like, oh, that's downtown. And like, what?
Yeah. It's so... Like in New York,
Did you know that was brownface? I didn't know that was brownface.
Yeah, Fisher Stevens is totally doing brownface.
I did not know that until I watched the
Modern Master of None.
Yeah. And I was like, what? No, it's not. And then I fucking Googled it. I'm like,
yeah,
he's not.
There was a show back in, I can't remember. It was like in the the 90s, because it was right after Andrew, and it was called Key West. It was like one of these shows that was centered around like a location. It was like a Cheers type thing. This guy goes to, and Fisher Stevens was in it, and he's white, straight up.
I mean,
he's in Hackers.
He's in a bunch of stuff. He's in Blacklist.
I don't watch Blacklist.
Oh, I fucking love Blacklist. I haven't seen the last season, but I've watched the first 4. And
I'm in season 2.
I watched
7 and 8.
Really?
Yeah. I'm one of Peter Stormare's guys in that scene. I don't know his name in the show.
I'll go back to watch it.
Yeah. But it's just me holding an Uzi for a scene. But oh fuck, what was I talking about? But yeah, Fisher Stevens, he's in Hackers. He's the Plague, but he's straight up doing like a derpy accent, like making fun, like it's straight up
painted brown. Like that's not. Oh, I got a tan.
No, they did. It's not like they could say that he put bronzer on. They put fucking makeup on, like paint.
Yeah, that's brown face.
And
He's such a great. I thought he was Indian my entire life. I thought that character was Indian.
And so did Aziz Ansari and shit. You know, like that. Aziz Ansari again. Me too. He got that weird article but that got backlash where it's like he's just like a creepy.
No, he didn't get backlash. The girl who wrote it was like, you just regret fucking him. That's not rape, asshole.
Well, also like
these are words from the comments. This isn't my. Like disclaimer.
I just smile and nod. I'm like leaving you out to dry every time. That's what I do. No, but the idea that she wrote an article about it, and then there was like a million outs. You know, like that she even put in there, and I was just like. All right, this guy has to deal with everyone. Like you airing that out there that he's like a bad lay or whatever. He's just like a weird process of this like weird sexual encounter you had, and like it was like a very mutual thing. But the point being is that like in that show that fucked him up too. I don't know if they're going to do a season 3.
Well, that story came out before season 2.
Right, but they had already shot it.
Right?
So whatever.
I love season 1. I haven't seen season 2, but I love season 1 of Master of None. Master of None season 1 was like Louis, like the show Louis, but funny.
Yeah. Master of None. That first season I thought was great. The second season, it's weird because he talks a lot of shit about casting, you know, accurately and diversity and all that stuff, but then every relationship he's in is with a white woman. You know what I mean? Like it's like he's just.
But he can't be with a white woman?
No, I'm just saying that he got, in terms of casting, like telling us for no reason. Like it could have been any race. He just casted white women, and that was the thing that got him backlash from other people. I'm not saying this. I'm saying that he got backlash for that. And then in the second season, he's just like, nah, still white girl. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Oh, but she's Italian now. She's from Italy.
Well, because his character went to Italy.
Yep.
Right.
No, I get it.
We're supposed to believe that there's Indian people in Italy? We're supposed to believe that shit? Come on.
You know that the second you cross a border, you turn into the race of the people in that country. Yeah, of course you do. We all know how borders work.
Well, that's
why Trump's so mad, because everyone's just going to turn white when they cross the border.
That's what you and I were talking about before we started recording. We were talking about how it was. I couldn't, as a child, I remember watching these TV shows where every single time,
oh my God,
the one black character, when they got a girlfriend, there was a black girl, and I'm like, why does it have to be black? Like, I don't understand. Right. And there was actually a movie or a show, I forget what it was, where they try to hook up their two mutual black friends that they were already in the show, but they never had met each other.
Sure.
And then they try to hook them up, and they literally said to each other, the character said, I guess we have to date now because we're the only black friends that they have.
Was it King of Queens or something like that?
I don't remember. Maybe.
I'll tell you what. Props to.
I think it might have been King of Queens.
I think because I don't know how I remember all that stuff, but I think I remember that they each had he had like a black UPS friend, and then she had like a black office friend.
Right.
And then they were like, let's set him up. And it's like super problematic.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, thumbs up to the early adopters of this progressive movement. Saved by the Bell. Screech after Lisa Turtle all those years.
Yeah, she's turned into a turtle.
What do you mean?
Have you seen her plastic surgery?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Rough,
yeah, I
dude.
remember.
She was, I liked her. I thought she was hot. I thought she was, aside from Kelly Kapowski, which no human on earth is better looking than Kelly Kapowski.
No one.
But after Kelly Kapowski, when everybody was like, "Oh, Jesse's also good looking," I was like, "Are you guys not? Why are you sleeping on fucking Lisa, dude? Lisa's
sleeping on Lisa Turtle, man.
Yeah, Lisa Turtle was the shit, and now her plastic surgery looks.
She's like, man. I feel bad because I don't like when people talk shit about people aging.
No, I this is not an aging issue.
It's not. She had like she looked like one of those cat people. You know, like when people get too much surgery and they start looking like cats. Ooh, her skin
the listener,
tone.
I just Google.
I'm looking at a picture of. It's not that her face looks bad, but she's got. Ooh, never mind. Is that real? Is that straight up?
No, that's it.
Ah, poor girl. She's poor lady.
Yeah, you know what the fucked up thing is? Her name is Lark. Her last name is Voorhees.
Yeah.
And now I just think of Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm like, oh, she took off the mask.
Oh no, that's mean.
It is mean, but it's still funny.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what. Like maybe there's some issue back in the. Because like
behind the scenes issues or whatever,
behind the scenes are like personal stuff. Maybe she's got a medical thing, you know. Like because I remember
because she was. I
loved Lisa Turtle.
I mean, she was beautiful, dude.
Yeah. Is that that was before?
That's before.
Yeah. Whatever. You know, that's the thing of like. But how progressive Screech after the black girl? Nobody brought it up once.
Yeah, but then when she actually did date guys, they were black guys. Because it was a white guy that was after her, but whenever she had a boyfriend, even if it was for that episode or even if she had a crush, it was always a black guy.
I believe she hooked up with Zach at one point.
Oh, yeah, but Zach was like fucking...
Zach went through everybody, right?
Except for Jesse. They were actual legit friends.
Oh, right.
That was never a thing with Jesse. He respected the fact he got her off of speed pills. He got
yes. She's so scared. I'm so excited. Everybody knows that. You know, that's one of those things where even people who were not like younger people kind of know what that reference.
They have to know that reference. Yeah.
But I'm interested to know how many people know the reference from just people referencing it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like just the second life of it. Not
absolutely.
The original.
There's a lot of shows that I know, like Taxi. I know from other people. I've never seen more than. I think I've seen a single episode of Taxi.
Sure.
But I know a shitload about it because of everybody talking about it. I'm like, yeah. I don't need no. Whatever the fuck. Whatever. Rick and Morty. Same shit.
Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Mork and Mindy.
Rick and Morty is awesome. Fuck, that would be an amazing show to put out on a mountain. Yeah.
Rick and Morty is
fucking amazing.
I will say it's good. I do think the people who like obsess about it are like just the worst.
I'm the worst.
Yeah,
I love that.
No, but like the people who post about it online and the ones who are like, you gotta be. It's a smart show. You get.
Oh no, I hate those people. I don't think I'm above anybody. Like I think if I'm getting it, it's not a smart show. Like it's not like
you're like guys. I'm getting it at the basest level.
Yeah, like it's very. But it's very well written.
Sure.
I will say, and I love the show. But I'm not one of those guys. Like last year, remember those 3 hours that they canceled Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
And Q was like,
I love that show.
I love it. And Q was like, I've never heard anybody talk about Brooklyn Nine-Nine until it got canceled. And I was like, well, I even tagged you. I was like, well, Mike posted that he saw it on the fucking airplane, and I commented on his post and said, I just don't go around talking about what TV shows I like. Like I don't go around. Let me rephrase that. I don't go around posting it on social media.
Right.
I will talk about it on a podcast or I will talk about it amongst my friends, but I'm not gonna go on social media and be like, guys, if you're not into Rick and Morty, like what's that word for those douchebags that they did everything first?
Hipsters?
Yeah, I'm not a hipster with anything, so I don't give a fuck.
You just call them douchebag. Like that's the same. It's the same shit. Like the that concept of going back to the social media and the gatekeeping. We did a full loop. Dude, what the fuck? You can't distract me while I'm talking, and don't reference it at all on air.
No, I don't.
This is purely for us.
That's right.
and I haven't said your name once. I think, and you haven't said my name once.
I haven't said my name.
Right.
Why would I say anybody else's name first?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'd like to present you with my ego's name.
Right.
No, but the idea that people posting about it and like being able to present this ideal presentation of yourself, for some people it's about knowing bands that are better, like it makes me feel better than you to know these bands. It makes me feel better than you to know these shows.
So I never post about the shows that I love, but I love my Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
It's fucking,
I heard it's funny.
Amazing.
It's been nominated for Emmys and stuff, right?
As it should. It's fucking it's so funny. It's a musical, but they have original music. It's so fucking
okay. My question was, it's not like a sketch show, is it?
No.
But does it break the fourth wall?
Oh, it breaks.
Is that why
she, in her imagination, her life is a musical?
That's what I'm getting.
She breaks into song and dance, and all her friends, and so the entire cast do songs and dances, but it's all in her head.
Right.
So it's not, you know what I mean? Right. So even when they talk about the lead character in third person, so they'll start singing a song about her and the character's name and the blah, 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 and what's happening in the scenario, but none of that really happened in real life.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that was like that. I thought it was
I didn't know anything about
sketch
the
show.
Until I started watching, and I was like, it's so fucking funny.
A theme. All right.
I mean, it's a sitcom. It's I don't know, sitcom, but it's a hour show. So it's a very funny comedy.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
It gets very serious, very dark at times, but it's all done within a musical.
It's still funny though.
Super funny.
Okay.
Super funny. And then the only times it gets really dark is the most updated season, which is season 3. There's only been 3 seasons, but it's like an arc of 4 episodes where it gets super fucking down, but it's still funny, but you still
interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I don't know.
Highly recommend.
Well, the thing about going back to the thing about posting stuff and just being this I like, floating on, I like sharing stuff that I like. I post songs that I'm listening to that day. They don't have to be current, but I just I like doing that more than posting things of myself, or you know what I mean, like we were talking about earlier. But when someone starts posting.
I post movies, but I don't post TV shows. Or
the idea that I didn't hear about it until it got canceled, it's because maybe your friends aren't watching it.
Maybe your immediate bubble.
That's what I'm saying. There's that social media bubble. I think is way stronger than a geographical bubble. You know what I mean? Because if you're actually meeting people, like people who talk big online, and you meet them in person, and you're like, oh, that's just kind of a thing I do online. Yeah. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
All right. It feels weird to be super disingenuous on the thing that's presenting you as a person.
Have you ever met people who talk big in real life, and then I'm giving the example. I'm going to give you an example.
Like people who talk shit.
No, I've met comedians on the road who. They don't actually say the phrase, I'm fucking great, I'm hilarious.
Sure.
But they say things that lead up to you believing that they're really good. Things like, I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm a professional. And then they start talking shit about other guys who aren't funny. Like, dude, you're not funny. You can't be doing that, blah, blah, blah. You get stuff that, you're wasting stage time and don't disrespect the art form and shit like that. And then you see them.
Immediately, I would wipe my ass with that.
And then because
immediately.
There's been 2 scenarios, 2 specific comics that I have in mind who are great people, but then we start talking about comedy, and then they get into this, I'm better than, I'm these guys aren't funny. Start talking about other guys who aren't funny, and I'm like, okay, fine. I don't go around talking about people who aren't funny. I don't give names. So whenever I have a conversation with another comic, I never go, oh, this guy sucks, whatever. All right.
It goes back to the Fantastic Four thing that changed my life.
But they legit. Then I've seen both these guys go up on stage, and I'm like, you should
eat
not
balls
ever.
They eat dicks on stage.
No, but they don't think they do. They still think that was a good set.
What?
Yes.
That's the delusion.
That's the delusion. I've actually had, and I've one of these guys, both of them are hacky, but one of them is so fucking hacky that he ends the bit on a physical routine, and then he goes, man, y'all better clap. And it was and then they start clapping, and then he ends it that way. And I'm just like, dude, you're not funny, and that's okay. It's okay to not be funny, but you should not be talking about other comedians.
There's no self-improvement without self-reflection.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right.
If you don't know, if you're not accurately assessing how bad you are.
I've never met anybody. I've only met those 2 guys who talk big. like one thing is talking big on social media and then being like, oh, I'm not really that guy. That's just something I do on social media. But I've never met anybody who talks big in real life and just doesn't back it up. Like okay. Usually when you talk big in real life, it's because you could back it up.
Yeah, we may have talked about this years ago, but like the idea of the bully beatdown, of like when a bully gets stood up to, you know, when they defend themselves, the bullied defends themselves. I like the little Zangief, the kid that was getting the fat kid that body slammed.
I just saw that video the other day. I was going through my YouTube search history because I was looking for the song that I used for the Geek More intro.
Okay,
just the bed,
right?
And I couldn't find it, so I'm like, oh, I know I got it off YouTube. So let me go. So I'm searching my YouTube search history, and it says "fat kid stands up to bully," and I'm like, "Oh, this is a great video." And I literally last night watching this video, bam!
Yeah, there's a whole subreddit called Justice Served, and it was like it's always like really satisfying to like every time anytime it pops up on my thing, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good. And it's like, you know, like someone driving like an asshole and they cut somebody off and it's an undercover cop and then they get pulled over and then, or like a lot of them have to do with like bully, like people who like start talking shit or whatever, and then like the guy that doesn't want to fight, it's like, I don't want to fight, but boom, knocks him the fuck out.
The guy who the ambulance, the black guy.
Oh yes,
talking
but
shit.
that white guy was also kind of a piece of shit. You find out later, but
he's a veteran.
He's like, I'm 67-year-old man.
Yeah,
and he beats the fuck out of that guy.
Beats the fuck out of him.
Call an ambulance. Yeah.
Did you ever see the remix on Tosh Pernod?
No.
They showed a bunch of like different remix videos. Ambulance. Dun, 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 ambulance. Dun, dun, dun,
that started
ambulance.
a whole meme of a girl named Amber Lamps.
Oh, no, that's so fucked up.
That they created, call Amber Lamps, and they're like, who's Amber Lamps?
That's great.
That's an old meme. That's a classic.
That's in a graveyard. That's in a meme graveyard.
Yeah, dusting off, digging up a classic.
Ambulance.
Amber Lamps. That's why I can't not think of Amber Lamps, like the person, and then they describe her. Like people would go on describing what Amber Lamps looks like.
Oh, that's so great.
It's funny, man.
The internet is fucking undefeated.
It's hard to like be mad at it when I use like it's literally an abusive relationship, because there's times where I'm overwhelmed with this shit. I'm like, fuck, God, I want to throw it. Like I'm genuinely thinking about like taking a break of like doing like a weekend away from technology, like just going off into the mountains somewhere.
I like how you went just for a weekend.
Well, just to kind of reset your
You could
brain.
do that on a cruise, man. Just go on a cruise and you just. You don't if you don't purchase the internet package, you're fucked. I mean, you're not gonna have any communication. You're gonna look at your phone 1,000 times and then realize, oh wait, all of my apps need Wi-Fi.
I would want to get a separate camera, because my phone is my camera now, and I would literally want to like not have it on me, like paper books, and like do like the whole Luddite disconnect.
My wife does that. We go to cruises and she takes paper books.
I like, part of me is like kind of craving that, you know, but I don't have a car anymore, so it's like to get anywhere away involves a bit of like planning and on purpose, and then it always procrastinate.
You should print out your like train schedules and like and your like MapQuest. Print out a MapQuest. Fucking trip people the fuck out.
Yeah, even the people who run the website are like, hey, we got a ping. What happened? Who's using MapQuest? Can you imagine? Like,
dude, I have a bit that's really great, and one of the punchlines is, dude, do you have Google Maps? Because we could just I said, dude, you have MapQuest? Because we could map this out. And like, I hadn't done that joke in probably 10 years, and when I redid it again, the joke is not about MapQuest. It just has a punchline. The whole joke is the premise is about when you start reading these word problems, like kids have like these SAT problems, and you're like, if a train left Chicago heading south, and you start as an adult, you start reading these, and you go, I don't know how to fucking get to this answer. So you go, bro, you got MapQuest? You could just MapQuest that shit out. I'll tell you. And that's the punchline.
Yeah.
And so the other day, I hadn't done it in 10 years, and the other day I was about to do it, and as I'm about to say it, I'm realizing, oh my God, nobody knows what fucking MapQuest says anymore. I literally had to say, change it to Google Maps last second. I changed it to Google Maps. And like, it still got a hit.
You still got Google Maps?
You still got Google Maps? Because you got maps on your... That's what I said. I go, you got maps on your phone? Like, we can just Google Map this bitch right here. Just whatever you have. Waze. And I then started ad-libbing.
Yeah.
Waze, whatever you got. I'm
download the Amtrak app. It's for trains specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
that would be great. Download the Amtrak app. It has the logo. The logo is a dinosaur. Because who the fuck rides trains anymore?
Not down here.
No.
I mean, up there, there's like,
that's subway.
Dude, like,
Subway.
it's like sometimes now.
But they don't ride a train to go. You're not hitting a train from New York, going 65 miles an hour towards Chicago.
No,
it's not.
You can do it, but it's.
Yeah, we can.
Here's the thing.
We have trains down here too that you can't.
Hey, listen up, Amtrak. Why do you cost the same as an airplane?
Is it the same?
It's for a lot of things, yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Why?
Because it takes days.
Yeah.
And they have to fucking put you up. You have to take a room.
It's good for short distance. Like, if I had to go to Boston, I might take a train. If I had to go to like...
I would love to take a cross-country train. I know it costs a lot of money because they put you up you're in a cabin, you're in a room, you have a bed, there's a thing. It's not like
Do they still have that?
Yes.
It's like the Orient Express, man.
I fucking would love to do that. I legit would love to do that cross country.
Yeah.
I would.
It sounds fun.
Then
it
takes 3 days from Philadelphia to LA.
Here's what I personally have always wanted to do. Not a train, but I'd love to get like
a camper,
a tow,
RV?
like one of those Airstream trailers.
Okay.
And have my tow it and then just like park wherever I want to be. I'm like, I'm here now, and then just have it.
I want to do an RV.
Yeah, same. But
same premise.
The only reason I say
because you want to have a car to go.
Because then I disconnect and
right.
then I can do whatever.
Yeah, I would like to do that, but I want to do that with the wife when our kids are already in college. I want to do the wife. We've talked about this. We just get an RV and just drive, and I would just drive from gig to gig.
Yeah,
and it'd be great.
Yeah, I really would love to do that. I'd love a road trip. That sounds. I'll be honest with you. Coming back here, I miss.
Yeah, you miss driving, dude. I miss driving, and I'm fucking still living in this city because I'm on cruise ships so often that I don't fucking drive.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, and they're like, oh, yeah, your mom's going to love it. She's going to get to see you and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, I really miss my mom. I was like, I miss driving more, though, I think, because I talk to my mom.
Yeah, you don't talk to your old car.
I hope they're doing okay.
I hope all right.
I hope they're doing all right.
Did you sell your car? You sold it, right?
I sold it, yeah. I could probably look it up.
Do you still get pictures of it?
Uh-huh.
You're like, hey, this is what your car's doing now.
Oh, I sold.
Get yourself out of the picture, bro. You're ruining the picture.
Yeah, just take a picture of the fucking car. I don't want to see you. The
full circle.
I had a friend. I had an old Blazer that I sold, and the
jacket or the car.
Both. They were branded. It was a Chevy Blazer.
Right.
And I sold it, and it was like in my neighborhood, like a mechanic guy in the neighborhood. I put a for sale sign on. He's like, "Hey, I'll buy it for." And I saw it driving thing, and I was like, "Oh, I want it back now." Now that it's running, I was like, "Oh,
hey,
I want it."
No, it's mine now.
Hey, can do over. Yeah, let me
just keep all the repairs you did.
Yeah, right. I miss the yellow truck I had was great. That Ford Escape that I had, I missed that one. That was fucking great. But yeah, I miss driving. Like I got to go pick up my rental car now.
I miss driving because that's when I would listen to podcasts.
I miss for the opposite reason. It's when I would be able to listen to music and sing along to the music and really get into music. I listen to podcasts on the train now all the time.
Yeah, I don't have any of those options.
Oh.
So I literally have to choose. I'm listening to podcasts either in my cabin, laying down, or while I'm playing video games, but it doesn't work because I need the sound for the video game.
Yeah, I was trying to. I have a PS4 now, brand new, and I was
brand new.
Yeah,
I like the fact that you have to clarify that it's brand new
because
I have a 5-year-old system. I have a 5-year-old system, brand new.
I have a 5-year-old system, just got it. Moving on up. Yeah, but it's a huge difference. Like it.
By the way, Sony is not going to participate in E3 next year.
They're probably going to do their own thing.
No. It's because the thought process is that they're not going to participate in E3 because they're working on PS5, and so they're not going to announce it until it's ready. So that's why they're going to skip E3. That's the
wait.
thinking.
So you're telling me I'm already behind? Fuck.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm like next year.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
That's how I felt about PS3. I got the PS3 with 2 years before the PS4 came out. And then the PS4 came out. I'm like, God, motherfucker.
All right.
But it was my fault. My fault. I got it late.
But I was trying to do the thing where I was playing Spider-Man and I was listening to podcasts, and then a cutscene happened, and then I realized, I'm not taking any of this in.
Yeah. No, that's
I was
exactly what
not
happened.
taking either the
Same
game
thing.
or the podcast.
Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption, both you need to be able to hear because there's story. There's actual there's something happening that you need to know.
Do you play online games that are just multiplayer, like Overwatch?
I'm on a cruise ship.
Oh yeah.
I don't play. In fact, when I go buy games now, like there was a time where there wasn't any major games out. No new releases, and I would go to GameStop and I would ask, okay, what games do you recommend? And they would tell me, and I go, out of these games, which ones do you not need the internet? And they would literally just they would separate all right, and these. I'm like, all right, there you go, that's the one.
I'm like,
but this is really good. I'm like, you don't understand. I travel. I'm on the road all the time. I don't have the internet readily available to me at all times.
Right.
And then to them, that's like.
For a while there, because all of those Call of Duty games and stuff, they just don't have a first-person player mode anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have a story mode that.
Did you play Far Cry?
No. Was it good?
Phenomenal.
If I can get it on discount, that's another thing. Now I'm buying all these games on discount.
Yeah.
I got all these.
Oh no, you can definitely get it.
Cheap ass.
Buy
games.
Far Cry 4. That came out 2 years ago,
right?
And then Far Cry 5 came out this year, and then Far Cry 6 comes out in January.
What?
So fast.
It's good.
Phenomenal. It's the only first-person shooter game that I play.
Really?
The only one.
See, I played.
I played Modern Warfare. That was the first Modern Warfare. That's all I played.
I don't like. I like it. Yeah, I like playing it, but I'm so used to keyboard and mouse. I did all that on PC.
Get over that.
Yeah. Get over it.
Yeah.
But I'm as soon as I get back home, I'm going to lose my entire life to Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm buying a cowboy hat. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Jeff has it.
He bought a cowboy hat.
Well, he already had one.
Oh.
And that's how he took a picture of himself playing Red Dead Redemption. He's like, this is my mode right now. This is my life. I'm like, all right.
I would 100% wear a serape, poncho thing where I'm from. I would 100% be wearing one of those things.
But Red Dead Redemption 2 is great. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm still in the process. But I only play when I'm not at home.
Yeah. No, it makes sense because you have the time, and then when you're home, you're with your family and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm here now. I'm doing the family thing. I guarantee you, by the end of it, I'm just going to be like, well, time to leave now. I'm done with you. But I will never miss driving. You hear me, family? I will never miss driving.
I miss driving.
Yeah.
I miss driving. I
will never not miss driving.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the. You want to do an old school pick?
Ooh, old school pick of the week. Oh, hold on. Let's dust off this one. Yeah. Oh, can you hear the echo chamber of us reaching into the
Oh no,
caves?
I already.
Yeah.
I already have my pick.
Echo.
I already have my pick.
You have your pick?
Yeah. I bought it yesterday. I bought it on iTunes yesterday.
What's your pick?
Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore, not Santa Claus, not Tim Allen.
Yes.
Yeah, with Dudley Moore as an elf.
Oh man.
Yeah. And John Lithgow's in it as the bad guy. He's the villain.
Yes.
Yeah. That movie's fantastic.
With Dudley Moore. Holy shit.
I believed in Santa Claus because of that movie. It's called Santa Claus the movie. I believe it's 84, 85, maybe. 84.
Can I do a TV show?
I mean, if you want to be with that guy.
Well, I don't know. I've been watching. I'll do 2 TV shows to counter one movie.
Mm-hmm.
One is News Radio. If you've
News Radio is fantastic.
News Radio is amazing, but nobody really puts it up there in the lexicon. I love it's up there with Seinfeld.
I binged it. I don't have Seinfeld high, so I agree with you in the sense that it's as good as Seinfeld. I just don't think that Seinfeld's great, so I'm not that.
But I love News Radio. The problem is that it doesn't. You can't follow through the whole thing because Phil Hartman got murdered.
Yeah, you could follow through.
You could, and then they bring in John Lovitz and that whole thing.
Yeah,
but
it definitely has a shark moment.
It absolutely does have a moment of
and it's
very sad shark jumping.
Yeah,
and then
where they go out. Not with a bang.
Yeah. Go do. I do not co-sign that. No, that one and Psych. I love that show. Psych
is. It's
all on Amazon Prime.
I would watch Psych so often but I never finished. Like I would watch I would watch it live. Like before there was binging, I would watch it. Like the new Psych episode is up, and I'd be that guy for like the first 3 seasons, I would say, and then I just lost, and then life happened,
of course,
and then I got in the way, so I haven't finished seeing it.
It's one of those.
But I fell in love with that girl. She was amazing.
The girlfriend Juliet.
Yes.
Yeah. Detective O'Hara.
Yeah.
So the show is like
that was a long will they won't they asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever got together. I'm assuming they did.
They did.
I mean,
at a
fucking spoiler. Jesus.
What you said?
I said I'm assuming they did.
You said Spider. You said Spider. The idea of that show is in that realm of shows like Firefly and all that stuff that were too early for streaming, and then they were like to build that core audience where like people could just watch it whenever they want. So now like people are huge fans of like shows that were not that long lived or whatever, but Psych was great, and it's like there's a ton of people that love that show, and now it's all on Amazon Prime, and I've been watching it and I fucking love it. It's still good. It's fun, goofy.
Yeah, it's great.
This is my name's Sean, and this is my partner DJ MC Clap Your Hands, and then like he always had
different. Yeah,
I've heard it both ways. There's so much good shit on that show.
I've heard it both ways.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I love that show.
It's great, man. You're not gonna get an argument from me. I think it's great. Hold on, trying to see. Santa Claus the movie is 1985. So I bought it yesterday on iTunes at full price. I didn't even go to the. I mean, it's an old movie, so you're not gonna get it off the fucking flea market. But
no,
it's fantastic, and I was showing my kids that. Like, I believed in Santa Claus because of that movie.
Dudley Moore,
as a kid, I believed Santa Claus was real because of that movie. To your mom. Yes, Santa Claus is real.
Yeah, my mom is Super Santa.
Legit.
Super Santa loves Super Santa. She's a believer.
Yeah. Well,
she has
would
faith.
Explain who she voted for.
I believe in fairy tales. I know that's not the right lyric to the song.
I know, but I didn't know that your mom was on your Facebook when I posted that. Remember when you're like, my mom still believes it. She believes in Santa Claus. I'm like, yeah, well, considering who she voted for, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm friends with my mom.
I said that's not the biggest fairy tale that she believes in. And then Oni was like, oh my God, you just burned fucking Mike's mom. And you were like,
The only thing left was
but your mom was like, okay. And I was like, oh no, he's friends with his mom on Facebook and she speaks English. I didn't know that.
The only thing would have been worse if you would have tagged her in your comment.
And I was like, oh no, I feel so bad, but the joke is so good, I'm not going to take this down.
You messaged me, right?
After that? I was like, hey, bro, I'm sorry.
You're like, hey, should I take it?
Should I take it down? I'm like, oh man, I feel really bad. And you're like,
she knows what she did.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wrote. You're like, she knows, she deserves it. That's on her. Like, that's she did. Yeah, fuck that. Does she regret it? Does your mom regret it?
I have not gotten into that with her because it is very touchy, and I'm not here for that often, for that long, and I don't like.
And she pays for your plane ticket, so you don't want to be a dick about it.
She did this time, yeah. It was very nice. She wanted me home for the holidays and stuff, but the idea is that I'm not going to engage with her about it. Maybe last time we talked about it a little bit, and that's it. Where it's just like, hey, this is the situation. I do not agree with any of this, so just know that I'm not on board. Don't be that around me and do those things. Like just keep that separpe from everything else.
Keep that racism.
It's not really about her. It's more like my stepdad. But
you were telling me that last time it was your stepdad or your uncle, and
my uncle's really conservative. He's more in that religious side of things.
So he should hate him too.
Yeah, he should. But yeah, it's more about like, hey. I had to unfriend some people where I had to be like, hey, I'm not in that world.
But I'm talking about your mom specifically.
Huh?
Your mom specifically. You don't know if your mom regrets it. Because I want to meet somebody who voted for him and goes, man, I fucked up. I personally, I know online there are people that have said that. There are posts of people that have said that. I've never met one.
It's tricky.
I have yet to meet one that goes, I shouldn't have voted for him, and I feel bad.
Because what happens is that they will no longer. Because I'll tell you who did do that. Who is in that world right now is the guy. I have a laundromat on my corner, and the guy where I go do my laundry all the time is always like getting into Trump with me, because I'm always like, no, that's not true. Like whenever he'll say, hey, this Trump guy was great, whatever. It started early on, and now he just every time it comes up, he's been very quiet about it lately. And the last time he brought up was during the Kavanaugh hearings. He was like, "Can you believe what they did to that poor man?" I'm like, "What?"
Stuff.
Yeah. He's also an illegal immigrant from the Dominican Republic. So it's interesting. Or I don't know if he's illegal. I think he's undocumented. Maybe
That's illegal. That's the same.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, there's one. It's illegal.
Those are both the same.
But
thing.
he was like supporting Trump, and then now lately, these last like month or so, where like all of these fucking legal things have been, everybody's been guilty.
Yeah.
He's very quiet about it. So what it is that even when I bring it up, he's just like and he won't engage. So it's not that he.
No, but I want to meet somebody
regrets
who says,
it.
I want to meet somebody who verbally says I should not have voted for him. I did because I believe that would be great.
Yeah.
To meet somebody who goes, I voted for him because I believed in the bullshit he was selling me, and now I know it's bullshit.
But here's the thing.
But that would take such a big fucking person.
That the kind of person who would have believed that shit in the first place would not be big enough. That takes a lot of, again, self-reflection. Like the dude that thinks he's great and then he's trash when he gets on stage. He badmouths other people. It's very Trumpian, you know. And so it's hard to have that reaction, expect that reaction from somebody, because the second you engage with someone, because they're like, even though they are making that, well, now I feel bad about that stuff, you could always be like, there's that feeling of,
dude, I bought a grilled cheese machine that sucks, and I bought it thinking that I was going to be the fucking best grilled cheese machine ever, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So, but I'm acknowledging it sucks.
Are you still using it?
No, we used it once. We used it three. Well, we made 3 sandwiches that one time.
Sure.
And then we're gonna try one more time because we're gonna change the cheese. But I told my wife, I was like, no, I'm returning it. And then she was like, are you gonna write a negative review? And I was like, I'm not that guy to write negative reviews. I'm not that guy to write positive reviews either. So
right. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, it does. It sounds like a lot of. I'm just gonna slap a label on it, and put it, and leave it outside.
Yeah, leave it outside. I'm not even gonna slap the label. I'm gonna ask you to print the label out. I'm like, I'm not gonna even do it. So
hey, you handle this.
Yeah, I'm like, but I do like to write positive. I'm joking because I do actually like to write positive reviews because I think positive reviews. I think there's it's one of those things where people go, they say.
Oh right.
But they say that for every negative review, there's like 8 people that thought it was good, but they just never took the time to write it in.
Right.
So negative reviews for the most part, get more attention. Because you're mad. When you're upset, you are like, no, somebody's gonna hear me out.
Justice will be served.
Yeah, justice will be served. And then when you're happy, you're like, oh, this is good. It worked the way it was supposed to.
And then you walk away from it going, exactly. And then you never think about it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. I get it. But for the whole Trump regret thing, it would involve them saying that they were duped,
right?
And nobody wants to feel like an idiot. So instead of saying,
he loves the poorly educated.
Yes. Instead of saying, with new information, because you can't say with new information,
right?
Because it's all the same stuff that's been true since the beginning, but now we're just proving it. You know,
right?
With the Mueller investigation, all that stuff. So you have to then say. And it's almost easier to be like, I was lied to. I believed all this stuff because I was lazy. And that's one way to say. Don't say that you're stupid.
But don't say, you don't even have to say you're lazy. You'd be like, I believe this shit and it can't turn out to be wrong. Further examination would be like, yes, I got duped. Further examination would be like, well, I got lied to. But just be like, all you have to say was like, he sold me something and I thought it was real and it wasn't.
That idea is hard because it opens the door up for you being wrong about everything else. You know, like, that
Joe Rogan joke. Remember, Joe Rogan has a bit where he was like, that he doesn't believe that there are bisexual men. He thinks that there are really crafty gay guys who trick other straight guys into sucking dick.
Yeah.
And he believes it's a whole thing. And he's like, because whenever I meet a guy who was bi, like it always ends up being that he's either really gay or actually straight. Like there's never a guy that he's met that he's like, well, there was one time in college where I sucked dick. It was a phase or whatever. Like, no, that doesn't work that way. So his whole thing was like, I don't trust that guy for anything. Like if I ever met that guy, I wouldn't trust him for anything.
Yeah.
He's like,
every opinion.
He's like, and then he gave the example of George W. Bush. He's like, well, Bush may not be the smartest man, but he surrounds himself with a good cabinet, which is what makes him a good president. And he goes, didn't you suck a dick once?
Yeah.
So
it's that idea of
judgment is suspect. Is like for the rest of your life. He's like, hey, you missed the exit. He's like, didn't you suck a dick once? He's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? He's like, I'm just saying we all make mistakes. Joe Rogan's bit.
I forgot the rest of that. I forgot the last part of that bit, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it would open the door for them to say, oh,
There's that new Bill Burr special where he talks about that, where he's like, if you're ever in an argument with a woman, she starts bringing up other shit, you won. Like, stop, like, whatever. Like, just hold on to that, So, like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Whenever any, like, right-wing crazy person or the GOP, like, they start bringing up all of this other stuff, I'm like...
But her emails.
Right.
You won.
Anytime they do the what about thing, I'm always like, oh, so you don't have an argument against it. So you're admitting that this is true and we can move on?
I just call it a pivot. I'm like, nice pivot.
Yeah.
That's my go-to phrase when they go, yeah, but she did the same thing. Oh, so we're pivoting now.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, wait.
Cool.
All right, so are you saying I'm right and we're moving on to a new subject?
Right.
Like that sort of thing? All right, so you're admitting defeat and...
Remember that guy with the cowboy hat? Remember that thread that we went through on Facebook?
Yes.
To this day, I have a fucking meme that I made of him, of that fucking picture of him, and I put never forget. So to this fucking day, amongst our group of friends in the thread, in our daily...
He still never answered me when he got here.
Oh, no, absolutely. Why would he? You won, buddy. You won. And I just... To this day, I would post that meme amongst us, like when people put when we were talking about patriotism, America, any kind of shit like that, and I always put never forget, and I forget his name, but my friend, but my friend Dave actually knows his name, right? But I have that fucking picture. He knows the person, and I always put that, and I'm like, that was one of the greatest.
I felt like I really kind of got to the core of him.
Yeah. I feel like in my mind, like in my imaginary world, I feel as if he, like, you made him go, wow, I failed at this. So, anyways, we gotta go. You gotta go get your rental car, and I gotta go check out my child.
I hope she's okay.
She's fine. She came in here. You saw her. She's
good.
So thank you for checking us out on this podcast.
I'm this guy.
Yeah, I'm the host, and
I'm the guest,
and he's been my guest. Yeah. And make sure to check out the other podcasts on the Geekmore Network: Zeros on Hero, Mount Geekmore, Mamas and Merlot, What's Good, Shiver, The Talking Geek, Mr. Multiverse, Comedy Fitness, and Better Let Me Tell You. And so check out the other podcasts on geekbro.net, and that's how mystery podcasts are done. And it's funny, motherfucker.